Hey, Scotty. And doing my updatey stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. um, Stitchy progress. That's coming loose. So I fucked up. I made a mistake. And I don't want to unpick it. And, like, I worked out what the mistake was, what it's going to affect, and it's like a tiny mistake. But I would basically have to, like, basically this heart here is one spot lower than it should be. It's all the right amount of stitches and everything, it's just one square lower than it should be. So it doesn't match up here. So I would have to unpick the heart, this yellow line, this blue stuff, and then add a yellow stitch in there. But because I'm so sick of this stupid thing, I'm gonna wing it. And the only thing I've got to work out now is there's supposed to be a line that goes across the top here, and it's not going to match up. So I'm going to improvise. I don't know, like, I could probably get away with not putting anything up there, or because I mean this will go across down here. I don't know. I could probably get away with not putting anything up there. Or, like, maybe doing, like, a single stitch sort of dot thing across the top. Either way, I'm improvising it because I don't give a fuck anymore. I just want this done. It's getting there. I've also decided that I'm probably not going to backstitch every single bit of it. Because there's backstitch in the bear and the bunnies, and that's fine. I'll do that backstitch. But then, like, each heart is backstitched. Oh no, just the hearts on the outside are backstitched. But there is backstitch all along these borders here. All along those borders. And I just don't really think they need to be backstitched. I honestly don't think they need it. So I'm just going to leave it. Plus the backstitching doesn't quite make sense in certain places. So, yeah, I think I might just leave the backstitch for the border. I'm just going to backstitch the bear and the bunnies. And then I backstitch the name in, and it's done. So, all I've got to do is, to finish off this border, I've got to put a heart in here. There's a heart that goes here. And then there's the blue. This part gets continued down here. And then it's just the backstitch, and it's done. So I can't fucking wait. I'm so sick of this thing. Yeah, because then once that's done, I can start getting to all these other ones that I want to do. I can start getting back to my actual project and start making real progress on stuff. That's the hope, anyway. So, other stuff, alright. I got these dies a couple weeks ago, and I tried them out. I'm not happy with them. They're not at all what I wanted. Even mixing them with the regulator, they're still too thick, and they're more like a paint than what I wanted. So I'm still going to use them. I've just got to use them a bit differently, and yeah, this is not what I wanted. So that's a thing that was disappointing. I still haven't wound any of these threads and stuff, but I'll get to that once I finish this stupid bear. But on the weekend, Andrew took me to this craft show, and it's called Craft Alive, and they do shows all over Australia. This one was called Stitch, specifically. I knew that there was going to be one cross-stitch stand at least, because Linen and Threads had posted about being there. And that's why I went in, because Linen and Threads, they've actually shut their physical store down. They're still doing online. But they were up in Katoomba, and they're not really accessible, and Katoomba in itself was not accessible, so I could never really go to the shop. Um, so I just sort of was going to buy some stuff online, because Linen and Threads are doing a free mystery stitch along. It's fucking huge, and it's really cool, and it's not my usual sort of style for a stitch along. But considering I'm quite disappointed with both the Frosted Pumpkin and the Clouds Factory ones this year, again, um, I still want to do a stitch along. So I ordered some hand-dyed floss from Colour Cascades. It's a green one, and I'm going to do that with DMC 310. And then I was like looking at fabric, and I thought, well, you know, Linen and Threads doing this stitch along for free. You don't have to pay anything for it. I'm gonna buy some fabric from them. So I went to this craft show hoping that she'd have some Ada there for it, but she didn't have any there. But I spoke to the lady that runs the shop, and she was like really enthusiastic, and like she's happy. They're going to hand dye me some fabric for it. So if she can't get 18 count, she can do it on 16 count, but that's fine. And because they're doing this stitch along, they know how to measure it and stuff, so it'll be big enough piece and everything. And she's really excited for me to be doing it in the colours that I've picked and stuff, because lots of people are doing the stitch along, and they're all picking different colours, and like some people are using variegated, some people are just using solids, and it's really good. Like there's so many different types, and it's great. Yeah, so that will be getting organised. I think she said she would call me sometime this week or early next week to organise it and stuff. She's going to look into what she's got in stock and what she can get, because she's still waiting for some fabrics to come in. But yeah, so that's going to happen soon, which means I will have at least one new start once I finish this teddy bear. But yes, craft show. I spent some money. Not a whole lot, but they gave us these for free. I haven't looked through it. I don't know about homespun. They don't really do cross stitch, do they? They do a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. I'll have a look anyway. They gave us that for free. So this teddy bear, my friend wants it made into a pillow for his niece. So I was like, oh yeah, no, that's cool. We'll you know, we'll run down to Spotlight at some point, and we'll have a look at some fabrics, and you can pick something that's good. So I found this one, because after the craft show, Andrew took me to the Spotlight store that's closest to where the craft show was, which is Castle Hill, it's basically like, it's like the northern suburbs, but in Western Sydney. Like like all the houses there are worth at least $1 million kind of thing, and they're all fucking rich, white, entitled sort of people. It's also where the Hillsong Church is, which is fucking massive, and because it's a church, they don't pay any taxes or anything like that. Like this church has its own fucking record label. Like they produce music, Catholic music, obviously, but they have a fucking record label. A church has a record label. Yes, it's that sort of rich, white, entitled sort of thing, and we went to get breakfast in one of the smaller shopping centres before we went into the craft show, and people were, like, looking down on me and, like, oh, seriously? And then, like, all the people at the craft show, like, most of the people at the craft show were just really rude and ignorant, and they just kept walking into me, and they wouldn't speak to me to say, like, oh, excuse me, or anything if I was maybe a little in the way. They just barged past me or knocked into my chair. People wouldn't move. People were just giving me filthy looks and stuff like that the whole time. It's just, like, I'm very glad that I chose to wear my cross-stitching shirt. It just says, I cross-stitch because punching people is frowned upon. Very glad I wore it, because there are a few times where people would give me a nasty look, and then they'd look at my shirt and they'd be like, oh my god. Like, yeah, that's right. I don't like that area. I hate that area. But they've recently redone their Spotlight store there, and it's huge. and it's up on a second level. Like they've got like closed in undercover parking, and then the shop's upstairs, but they actually have a lift in it, which, yeah. And then they've got like a bathroom in there, and it's a disabled bathroom, so that's cool too. But we went and had a look because I was looking for something that my local Spotlight doesn't seem to have, because they're smaller and worse. Just worse in general. They're bad. They're so badly stocked. The store is always messy. If you can manage to find a staff member if you need assistance, they have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, and they don't want to help you. Like, the staff are invisible best of times. It's bad. But yeah, this store is actually really well put together, and it was huge, and they had what I was looking for. But they also had this fabric. So it's got like an alphabet and like little animals and shit. And I thought, hey, well, the kid's like 2 or 3 years old or something now. But, you know, it's still cool. Like, it'll make a nice backing for the pillow. And it was $2. So, yeah. So I got that. An empty bag. That's another empty bag. I'm still cleaning. And the Spotlight had these, like, geometric face shapes. This is a fox one. And I'm going to paint it and put it up somewhere, just because I think it's cool. From Linen and Threads, though, because I wasn't buying fabric, I bought 2 patterns. So I got a Lizzie Kate, Why Yes I Can Drive a Stick. And I got a Prairie Schooler, Bump in the Night. I have another Prairie Schooler one on its way, actually, that I bought off a stash group. That should arrive sometime this week, so I am looking forward to that too. And then I'll just get the bag. So, what's that? Oh, I don't need that. So my big purchase, which was something that me and Andrew went halves in, because we both have ideas. It's a rhinestone applicator, and she threw in a whole bunch of beads. So there are 12 colours and like 1,200 beads in that one, and then there's like 5 packets of these 200 beads. So yeah, they're rhinestone diamante ones, and you can get the really fancy ones that start with an S that I can't pronounce because I'm weird. Yeah, those. But yeah, we got one of these because we have like a whole bunch of ideas to do with what we can do with them and stuff, and like we both want to start making more things. But I also thought, like, doing stuff like the Mirabilias and stuff, if I don't feel like beading all of it, I can just replace some beads with rhinestones. Or, one of the other things that I bought, where'd it go? There it is. So this is, and it's all in, some sort of characters. I don't know, I can't remember what she called it, but, this is like, it's like an embroidery type of thing, and it's got dragonflies on it, obviously. I don't know how well you can see it. Oh yeah, it shows up better there. So it's printed onto the fabric, and you stitch the dragonflies, and then like you can use it as like a pillow panel or something like that, but it's all printed on there. So yeah, it's like an embroidery thing. She gave it a specific name, and I swear it started with either Z or S, but she had a thick accent, so I'm not 100% sure. But I've been wanting to try embroidery for a long time. It's just sort of intimidating because I don't know a lot of the stitches and stuff like that. And I don't want to just like backstitch everything because I fucking hate backstitch. But this one seems cool. Like, it's got the markings on it, and I thought, hey, it's dragonflies, it's cheap, and I could do it in like some hand-dyed flosses, like the Flyvolicious ones or something. And then I put some rhinestones on that motherfucker. So yeah, that's a thing I want to try. Also had a demonstration of what they call it, Tapunto Trapunto. It's like a French embroidery sort of thing. And it's really interesting. Like, the guy showed me how to do the traditional French trapunto and then the shadow trapunto. And I was gonna buy, like, I've added it to my things that I want to try list. And I'd like to buy some at some point when money's a bit better. But then I was like sitting there going, well, if I buy the like fabrics and like the batting and stuff like that and then the yarn, I could do it with pretty much fucking anything. So I could just like pick a coloring book and use a coloring book image to do it. I don't have to do like these sort of traditional things. And then I thought, oh my god, I could do my sweary coloring books. And I could just like do like this really fancy, like classic sort of French trapunto with the word fuck. Yeah, that's probably going to happen. So that's a thing that I'm going to look into in the near future as well. So the thing that I was looking for at Spotlight were perla beads or Harmer beads. So I got a pack of black, a pack of mixed, and because I had a 40% off coupon, this big one went from like $15 down to like $9. So I grabbed that too. And that's why I went to Spotlight, because my local doesn't have any of these in stock. Yeah. Because that's the thing that I'm going to get into too. I've already got some beads, but I didn't have enough of one colour to do anything. So that's why I bought a packet of black. There's 1,000 beads in there, so that should get me... So that should be enough to do a couple. Plus there's some black in this one. And some black in this one. Plus the couple of black ones that I had. So I should be able to make some stuff now. Now I'm just going to find where the iron is, because that's the thing that I need for that. It's somewhere. I know it's somewhere. And I left the fucking books in the bathroom again. So reading-wise, I'm reading The Yellow Brick Wall by Danielle Page at the moment. It's book 3 in the Dorothy series. I don't know if it's actually got... It's the Dorothy Must Die series. It's the 3rd book. I do enjoy the series, and it's enjoyable. What was the one that I just finished? Where the Trees Were by Inga Simpson. It's an Australian book, and it was really good. I didn't think I'd get that much into it because it's outside of what I usually read, but I actually went like right through it. It was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I read it so quickly that I was like, wait, what? Yeah, but I don't have them in here with me at the moment. So, yeah. Is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. Like I said, I didn't do too much spending or anything because budgets and all that. But, yeah, I've got a couple of things. I've got ideas to try things and do things and stuff. Apart from that, I've just been playing WoW, and we had our 2nd week of raiding with the new guild. We did alright. We went into Trial of Valor, and we got the first 2 bosses down. We had a couple of wipes on Odin, a couple of wipes on Grom. And we had a couple of wipes on Helya, but we couldn't get Helya down, just because some of the people in our group are lower eye level than they probably should be for that level of rating, and their AoE DPS is not great. So we're going to keep working on them. We're going to go, I think we're doing Heroic Emerald Nightmare this week. Just sort of go backwards and see if we can get people a few more bits of gear and just like help them out a bit more. Plus, teaching the people that haven't raided before how to raid, you know, like you've got to pay attention to this and you've got to do this and you've got to do this. So, yeah, but we ended up, we tried a few more times on Helya yesterday and still couldn't get it down, so we thought, hey, let's just go try Nighthold. We got the first boss down. I think we wiped twice, and then we got it on the 3rd go, which is pretty good considering, like, 2nd week of raiding, most of the people in the team have never raided before, Yeah, like it's pretty good. So that's going reasonably well. Yeah, there's really not much else. uh, Although, I've got to get that off my camera. I have some footage on my camera because last week, I think Tuesday, a friend of mine contacted me like midnight and he's like, I've got to stay up for work because I've got to reset my sleeping habit because he works security. Do you want to go for a drive? Yeah, okay, why not? So we left, I think he picked me up just before 1 a.m. and I got home at like 6:30 a.m. Stayed up until 8 and then I just conked out. But I've been kind of nocturnal again lately, so it's not a huge deal. But yeah, we were just like randomly driving around and stuff. We ended up going to Cat Eye, where there's a national park, and we sort of drove in a little bit. But they lock all the national parks at night, for the animals' sake and just for like to keep douchebags out. But we came across. We drove past a wallaby, which thankfully did not dart out in front of the car. We saw a kangaroo on the road. It was jumping away, so it wasn't a huge deal. And we saw a rabbit. I saw something else, and I still have no idea what the fuck it was. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, you know, you go out, like, and it wasn't even a long drive. I think we drove for like maybe an hour, and we were sort of heading towards Wiseman's Ferry area, but there was a detour. But it was a very clearly marked detour, so we didn't end up in Wiseman's Ferry. We ended up in Cat Eye, and then Maruta, and then to Hawkesbury, and then back to Blacktown. So, yeah. And, yeah, some fucking Aussie place names. Maruta. Yeah. We giggled. Yes. This is another thing that I did. I made a needle binder for a friend. It's for her birthday, but I haven't seen her yet, so yeah, I have to give that to her still next time I see her, which I don't know when. Oh, new Pokemon! There are new Pokemon, and I've already caught a couple. My phone's charging, never mind. But the first Pokemon I caught was Murkrow. It's like this little crow, and he's got like a little hat on with little points on it, and it's adorable. And I was like, oh, the game knows that I'm a goth, because it gave me the goth Pokemon first. But yeah, and it's really funny because I'm like catching Pokemon, I'm like, oh my god, I actually know this one. The rest are just like, I have no idea. Because it's all the Johto region Pokemon, and that's about the time that I stopped playing. So I had Pokemon Blue, and I watched the original series and the original movie. I played Pokemon Gold for a little while, but I didn't go super far in it. I don't think I ever finished it completely. And then that's where I sort of stopped, because then they kept adding more, and like they added more Pokemon, more shows and stuff, and I was just like, yep, too much. And yeah. Not because I was an adult or anything, because we all know by this point that's not a thing. I don't give a shit. You see all the toys that I have lined up on my bed? Yeah, I don't give a shit about adulting. Or being an adult, anyway. Yeah. So that's about it. There's really not much else happening. The craft show was like the highlight of my week. Although, I am... Right, so I spoke, not last week, but the week before, about the whole job network stuff. So I'm thinking I might need to switch job networks again, because it's starting to really piss me off. She said, oh, like, I'll talk to you, I'll check in with you later on in the week, and we'll work out what we're doing with the appointments and stuff. Alright, cool, I'll talk to you then. Sweet. I haven't heard anything from her. It's been like 2 weeks. And I haven't heard anything from her about appointments. I haven't heard anything from her about this lead that she was apparently following up on about a possible job. I'm just, you know, like, they explain that they do things differently, but I feel like they're not doing anything at this point. Like, because I did try to call them earlier too, and she's not in the office. So, and she's supposed to be in the office Mondays and Tuesdays. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that she goes out and about and meets employers and does all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I just feel so slow, and it just feels like they're not actually doing anything, which is concerning me because, like, I'm still applying for jobs. Like, it's not like I'm not trying and doing stuff, but I mean, obviously that's been so successful. Yeah, me doing things on my own, so totally successful. Yeah, but yeah, just sort of feel like they're not doing much. And like, if she really is chasing up a lead, great, but how about more than just one? You don't ever put all of your eggs into one basket. Like, yeah, I don't know. But course-wise, I've done a little bit more coursework on one of my assessments. I'm sort of taking it slow though because I've only got like 2 or 3 assessments that I can do that don't need placement. I did, however, contact a couple of places about placement. I've heard back from one, and I've got to send some more emails to the right person, but I haven't heard back from the others yet, and I have a couple more to contact. So that's work in progress. It's getting there, slow, but yeah. I don't know. I'm sort of in a funk about the whole thing, which, I mean, not surprising. But yeah, I just sort of feel like the job network's not doing much to help. And, I mean, obviously, like, I still don't have a job. It's been years. I'm obviously going to need help. And that's what they're supposed to do. But I feel like they're not doing it. Like, they're chasing up one lead. I never hear from them. And I'm supposed to see them once a week. Or once a fortnight, depending on what they say. But I haven't seen them now in a month. I called up to reschedule the appointment that I couldn't go to 2 weeks ago, but they never rescheduled it, and trying to get a hold of them is just proving to be difficult. I'm not happy with it. I feel like they could be doing more, or they could at least keep in contact with me a bit better. And, like, keep me in the loop of what's going on. And I know they have other, like, my consultant has other clients. I know that. But she was, like, really excited about this one lead. Like, oh my god, like, it's great and stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. So what's happening with it? Let's push this and let's not dawdle about it because it's already been fucking years, man. Like, let's fucking get this shit moving. If you think it's a good thing, then let's fucking push it. Because I can fucking use it. But yeah, so I don't know what to do about that whole thing. Like, there is one other job network that I wouldn't mind going to. I've got to find where their closest one is that's taking people. But they seem to have even better results than this one, and they're also a disability job network, so I can move to them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to keep moving. It's like, this is like my second last option, and this other one that I have in mind is my last option. Because there aren't very many disability job networks, and I'm doing the right thing too. Like, I'm looking around for work on my own. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking around for work on my own. I'm looking into, like, external job networks and stuff like that, like places that do, like, hospitality work and that kind of thing. I'm looking into those. I'm trying to do my course. I'm trying to get placement. I'm doing what I can. 5. But it's obviously not enough because I'm still unemployed. And it's really pissing me off. I'm really sick of it. I've been sick of it this whole fucking time. But it's just getting ridiculous now. And I don't know what much else I can do short of what I'm doing. Like, I'm applying for jobs, I'm networking as much as I can. I've got a career expo thing that I'm going to tomorrow night. I've just I gotta plan all the transport and stuff so I can get there and get home. But yeah, like I'm doing things and I'm trying. I just feel like no one's meeting me sort of halfway. And yeah. And I mean, I've been trying. It's not like I'm still unemployed because I'm lazy or anything like that. Contrary to what some people fucking think. It's just, there's a lot of people that are doing it hard right now when it comes to employment. I'm not the only one, but yeah. That's the thing that I'm still trying to work out what to do, because it's a she, and I sort of feel like it shouldn't be this hard. Like, I'm not understanding why it's so hard. I have work experience, I have qualifications, I'm willing to learn, you know, I'm putting myself out there, I'm selling myself the best I can to employers, and I'm just still not getting anywhere. Like, I'm not even getting interviews. And I sit and I redo my resume over and over again, and I write custom cover letters for every job application, and I'm just not getting anywhere. Yeah, and I sort of have to stop and think, like, alright, well, think about how many other people who are unemployed or underemployed, and think about all the other people that are applying for these same jobs. Like, you've really got to do something that stands out. But I'm afraid to do something that stands out because it wouldn't be normal. Like, it wouldn't be the sort of standard kind of thing. And yeah, it's this whole thing. But yeah, that's just stuff. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do some stitching, maybe do some cleaning. I think there's still some dishes to do. I didn't quite do all of them. But yes, I will see you guys later. Bye.